post-level 1 gank, you know, stay on the lane with both the supports, make sure you get a kill on him early, and then rotate out, just to give a slight advantage. If you ever have a lane that seems this could be problem, this could be shut down, doing that gank nowadays is not that costly. You can always swing over to the warp gate and take the portal down to the other lane. So looking towards supports to be a bit creative about how to fix hard lanes in this.
Interesting that they all come running out of the gate and nobody opted to go for a smoke. I remember we've talked about this before. You don't like the fact that a lot of the teams really... Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Heroic did. Heroic late smoked. I just noticed that now. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like late smoke like this is when you're looking to kill something, but they're not really grouping up. So I guess they just, you know, did it to sneak the mid ward for TA there, make sure it's not planted under vision. Now, similarly, they're going down for the ward on the cliff, doing the predictable ward on the bottom part. It's a good ward to have, but I feel like that one often gets dewarded as well.
I feel like it's such a... What's the word? Obvious ward, like you're saying, because like, you go over to that camp, you immediately see that's blocked. You know that you have to get a sentry, you have to unblock it.
Exactly, yeah. It can be annoying sometimes to deward the high ground though, because you have to hug the cliff, and if the opponent support is on your case, then it can be difficult to get it. Apparently, we have a little bit of lag here for some of the players on Heroic.
Pretty classic for South America, unfortunately. You tend to have these little delays. I think I was doing one of the qualifiers, and I think we were paused for like over an hour.
Oh, wow.
I kid you not. I think it was a TI qualifier, too. It was just like, oh boy, all right, what can we talk about? What's interesting?
Yeah. I mean, that's exhaustive. The 1 hour, you can really go into all the deep theories about Dota at that point. But Go comes out.
Oh, I don't even know if we were talking about deep theories about Dota at that point, Waga, but at least our audience was on board with us. They were vibing.
Looks like we will have a little bit of an advantage here, as Lifesteer will find the top rune as well. So 3-for-1 on the runes. Heroic off to a nice little advantage start, and already trying to zone out the safe lane here of Fantasy from getting to the lane.
That harass coming out immediately here from Schofield.
Yeah, look at the creeps. Look at the damage to take in from the Voodoo Restoration.
I feel like they should not, like, I feel like that shouldn't happen. I don't know.
They're abusing the Ogre not having an ability, right? He went for learning curve, so all he has is right clicks. And Troll, he's pretty strong, but he can't deal with these two heroes alone.
No, this is off to a really good sort of start here for the side of Heroic. Now tell me about the mid lane, our TA expert here.
Yeah, so he did go for the Psyblade extra point here, because otherwise he wouldn't have the ability to really Psyblade. She does get the free, like, level 0 Psyblade, but he has no range at all. And against the Wind Ranger, ranged hero, you need to skill this up so you can actually do something. I would say this is a pretty good lane for TA. It's not amazing, because your Psyblades only do 80% damage now, not 100%, but he should be completely fine on TA.
So kind of not much happening in this lane for the most part, unless we see a rotation.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mostly a farm trade, but TA might take over due to their refractions.
Okay, let's check in here. On top, looks like there was a little bit of skirmishing going on. Nothing too wild, but definitely missing some health on these supports.
They're trading, and you know, Enchantress got that big heal coming out as well with Nature's Attendants.
Ooh, bottom lane! They're turning their attention to Schofield. They get a little too cheeky, but now they'll take down the troll first, and now, this is looking a little bit scary for this Ogre. Schofield, he's still alive. They could turn this back around. In fact, they turn it, and they get a double kill in the bottom lane. An excellent start for Heroic, and a bit of a nightmare here for the side of Fantasy.
Yeah, this is the build that we see a lot as well. The Maledict and Voodoo Restoration. No point in stun from the Witch Doctor. He doesn't need it on this lane. All he needs is mana and movement speed. So if he gets early boots, early mana boots even, would be really great. Both of them actually have boots on the way after those kills there.
Oh, that's super nice. That always feels good. Getting those early boots going. I think the only thing better is when you get your mana boot like super early as a support.
Oh yeah. And we might see it this game. He did buy another blood grenade, so committing earlier for some power.
pass from Divine Llama. Just trading back and forth here with this pull.
Bottom lane still in a very good spot for Heroic. Nice and far up on the lane so they can safely farm. Very dangerous for Fantasy to go and contest here. At least they're gonna get the Lotus.
That also feels good because you want your Ogre also to do as much as harass as possible at this point, so that way you can kind of get in there, let your troll hit, but it can get real tough when you start to run out of mana and you just constantly try. Ooh, a little bit of that charge coming through. Gotta land the Maledict over onto the troll, but Schofield, they're probably gonna kill this Ogre again. Look at this, Schofield just walking away.
Existence.
Just around the corner. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, just dying to Witch Doctor existing. It's free Radiance. I mean, it's...
It is. No, you're right. You're right.
I did say it before the game started. Look at him. He's just going in.
The dive is real because he's just kiting. No. He's got Divine Llama. He trusts his bro. He's got this. That's another kill. Ogre's coming back in. Luckily, Sko doesn't have much mana left, or I feel like they just go right back in again.
Yeah, this is what we were concerned about as well. The Witch Doctor, how strong is he going to be in lane? And he is absolutely dumpstering this bottom lane. Davai Lama, I mean, he's doing his part, but I feel like he could be any hero in this lane. The Witch Doctor is doing the heavy lifting. The damage he has done is just amazing here. And he is 200 gold away from mana boots at minute 4 as a support. So that is very early timing. Top lane?
Classic. Top lane turning attention over to King Jungles, and those overprotective wisps not going to be quite enough. But Hector going to make sure that he puts a little bit of damage over onto Drake here.
Yeah, it was a nice catch with a bushwhack there from Hoodwink coming out. Caught him by surprise
They need to do something. Like, if you look at the last hits and denies right now, like, Hector's at 26 and 8, Analog's at 26 and 9, like, they're just dominating on top, and Troll's doing the best that he can, but it's been tough down there.
Yeah, at least he got nice CS, but 2 deaths on both of them definitely set them back a lot. Finally, he does have his boots coming out, though, so that's going to help him a little bit, perhaps stay alive here. Mobility is super important to get out of that Witch Doctor heal. It hurts too much.
They've got another blood grenade on Sko. They're looking, they're hunting, they're hungry.
Oh yeah, he's got his eyes open for any kill potential. They have a creep wave too. What they want to do is dive with this creep wave.
King Jungles making rotation down. They have their eyes on
God,
Troll. The charge
going.
come out. They'll toss out the stone. Good lord. All right, that's another kill on Troll. The chase is down. This is a dead Ogre. And this will easily turn into a tower push with the Cardi coming in hot.
Yeah, for sure. A nice rotation by King Jungle coming through that gate, joining in for the gank. Meanwhile, we see Hoodwink just pestering mid a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty early to be here. The power rune isn't spawning for another 15 seconds, so all Hoodwink is really doing is trying to stack up and give a recovery window for this team.
So the only thing I can think of is that their bottom is hemorrhaging so badly from all these kills that they're like, okay, RoboZ, it's going to be up to you to make, you know, the moves to do what we need. But then look at this gank train. 4 men over to the mid lane. Not going to be able to quite finish off with that one run coming in, but they have themselves a mud golem. They're going to push with the other cart. Just very beautiful, you know.
Well, it's quick push here. They didn't take the bottom tower, but now eyeing up that more important mid tower. Hoodwink is around to try and defend, but not much he can do. And Ogre, what are you doing out here, buddy? You can't
poor
beat
buddy.
these team. Even the Centaur takes the last.
Oh, all right. He's like, let me do you a solid, buddy.
Yeah,
We're not going to give them any more kills. I'll take this one, thank you.
That's a nice, stylish last hit right there. Dude, the War Stomp does 25 damage. He got the last hit. That is impressive. Teach me how to CS, Centaur Conqueror.
7-minute runes are coming up. Pretty important. Seems to be a very, very big deal in all of these games, getting that little extra amount of XP early. It's going to be Hoodwink who grabs Hoodwink's. Oh boy, Hoodwink's only level 3, whereas Witch Doctor Schofield, he's sitting at level 5 after all these kills in lane.
Yeah, I'm not even that sure about... I mean, Hoodwink did make the rotation towards mid very early. Like I said, minute 5 running over there. But I feel like he needs more levels, you know? Hoodwinks,
yes.
When we see them successful is when they actually get their items. These semi-carry Hoodwink players getting some Gleipnir and stuff going. He's joining top now, but this lifesteal has ulti. There's no way you can kill him.
Do you prefer that Hoodwink gets the rune versus, say, RoboZ, who's had I mean, not the worst time, right? But definitely not the easiest time over in the mid lane either.
I think Hoodwink had to take it. I mean, he was going to get experience no matter what. The Ogre was ahead. But yeah, Robo-Z, I think Robo-Z is fine. If he had like an empty bottle and needed the refill, then I think he should have it. But I don't think he needs the power or the Wisdom Rune. He just needs bottle charges, that's all. Speaking of which, top.
Analog? Bit of that bushwhack, but Illusion getting popped. The follow-up coming in now, and King Jungle's taking too much burst damage as Analog on the chase. They really want Robo-Z. Look at Schofield with his little torch. Just come back, come back. We'll be able to finish him off.
Yeah, this Witch Doctor has 3 points in the heal. It's 50 damage per second now. That is absurd to get close to. 1 more point, and he has the actual Radiance damage online. It's funny how he doesn't have to use the ulti as well. Like, he skilled the ulti, but I've seen people skip Death Ward on Witch Doctor even because of how good the W and the E are. You don't really have to spend your mana in any other way than just Voodoo Restoration and running at people.
I feel like that's an indicator that maybe it's busted when you don't take your ultimate.
Yeah, because Death Ward isn't a bad skill. It's a pretty good one. Fails the big camp stack there on Witch Doctor on the Ancients, but got the big camp at least.
I feel like they have not been able to do anything to Ector here top.
Yeah, no, he's very
well, that's
happy.
good. They got the courier, so they got his Talisman of Evasion at the very least, but still. Ooh.
Oh, they managed to find with the Spirit Breaker charge plus the ulti. They have a nice deep ward here planted by Schofield earlier when they were playing in the area, and the Wind Ranger just gets caught and punished. Again, even if he doesn't have the evasion, this Lifestealer's completely happy. He has the ulti. He is farming so much. Already up to 172 HP bonus from CSing. 20 denies and 70 last hits. He's doing fantastic for himself.
Just like how Schofield's like jungling over on the side with him. Like, obviously, you know, he's still stacking, but just turns on his W and...
yeah, and look how
he's
good
able
the
to
W
do that.
is.
That's so ridiculous.
The W can stack from 800 range, so it's actually making it easier to get those camps prepared.
A bit of a smoke coming out from Drake and Zika here. They do have the split available.
Yeah.
Can they find anyone, though, is the question.
The No Boots Brewmaster coming in.
Oh, there's that barrel. They'll grab themselves a Divine Llama. Is he going to be able to get out in time, though? He's ticking down too much damage. He's toast.
Nice rotation.
Toast.
That's actually a much better kill than I expected him to find there. And, ooh, full ulti used on what was a TI13 down there.
Yeah. You can feel that pressure coming out.
Yeah. Not the biggest cooldown ever, so, you know, might not get completely punished, but definitely a little bit of nerves popping that immediately there. But yeah, good rotation. They got 800 gold for killing the Spirit Breaker there, so Brewmaster happy with this move. Coming back to top, still has his ulti as well. We're basically seeing two heroes that can't kill each other here. The Lifestealer can't die because of his ulti, Brewmaster can't die because of his ulti. Both of them can just stand here and trade.
Yeah, I feel like it's difficult for the side of a little bit of a charge bottom. Oh gosh, it's doing a decent amount of damage. It's gonna be able to solo. No, okay, there's the bushwhack. Oh, greedy little squirrel picks up the
Lotus.
It
went into backpack. He can't use it.
He's running. He's trying. I think with the scurry, I think he should be able to get out of there.
He'll get vision here.
Charge. Llama, he goes for it. Nah, no. He did manage to use his Lotus at the very end, but it was not enough, Wogga. Not enough.
Right there, we saw why Spirit Breaker is picked against Hoodwink as well. They picked it after seeing the Hoodwink. It's a great hero for catching him. Very, very difficult to get away from. And yeah, goes down to a solo kill there. So that's going to be nice for Spirit Breaker. Only got 200 gold for it though, 270. Power Rune spawning. Dire controlling it a little bit better.
A little regen rune or analog. I'll be happy to pick that up in his bottle.
Yeah, and he's going for a Blink Dagger on the TA, almost has maxed out Meld Strike already, so in the 1000 gold he has Blink Dagger. That's when he can start getting really aggressive as well. For now, the team is pretty content with just farming up and building their key items though.
Another charge mid towards Robo-Z. Go pop one of the traps to start the slow. Does have the wind run.
Has the ulti. Doesn't want to do it.
The rest of the team here to back them up. Nice hit over onto the Ogre, but in comes Drake. We're gonna see our first split. He doesn't have enough mana to do a split. Oh dear. Looks like they're gonna be able to just walk away on the side of Heroic after forcing multiple heroes to them.
You have to be so careful about how you spend your mana when you go for this build that Drake has. No magic stick, no boots, no nothing. He's just running around with two bracers and straight into the Radiance. It is the fastest way to get the Radiance, but, you know, running out of mana there. Maybe he could have caught the Spirit Breaker.
What would you... So I feel like Drake has a heavy burden here because his lane didn't go super poorly. Like, it was basically just a trade back and forth. Has to be kind of the person who makes these moves that makes, you know, makes the space, so to speak, for the troll who's had difficulty. Would you have liked to see him go for a slightly different build so he can do this, or...? I'm
sure that he, like, studied and thought that this is like the way to do it. I think I've seen brewmasters do this before, so it's not uncommon. But you know, you really rely on the Radiance, otherwise you don't have damage. Oh my god, the Hoodwink can actually like 2 hits. That's Shadowblade damage on top of the charge. She got destroyed.
Open season, good lord, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
He even painted himself.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't think he expected to kill her that easily as well.
Well, because I mean, last time it was a little bit of like, you know, chasing around circles. So I don't know if he had his Shadow Blade activated.
He did not. Yeah, he didn't have the Shadow Blade that time. We see a damage there. I mean, the recap, that was some nasty amount of damage coming out from him.
All you can see is his forehead. We can't see if he's giggling or not as he goes for these.
Happy
Classic
forehead.
Player cameras.
Yeah. He does have the Faded Brooch as well, which is, you know, one of the nicest items to get for Spirit Breaker. You get that movement speed. Ogre overstepping a bit here.
I would say so.
Oh, gotta fight for that vision, you know, when you're a support, but it's difficult. All support players know the terror of playing on the losing side against the Spirit Breaker. It is not easy.
You're just begging someone to go with you, and they're like, nope, because I'm gonna die too.
Escort me, please. I want a D-ward.
I want to just get a little gold. Charge going top. Over onto Drake. Does have enough mana for the split this time around.
I like this invasive move. And look at Lifesteer just walking in.
Right. Needs to be a little bit careful. There's multiple people here. Yeah, this Ogre. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is going to be a dead Ogre. Divine Llama here with following up. Find himself the squirrel. Was hoping to two-shot him again. This time, not going to be able to. We'll need a little bit of help here. And they do have the split this time, so we'll see the split coming out from the Brewmaster. Robo-Z, though, not looking like he wants to participate in this, but Hector just will teleport out. He says, all right, we got the split. Everybody's out. And Analog's hitting that mid-tower, so I feel like we got what we needed here.
That was very last-second TP on the Rage timing there. He perfectly timed his TP outs. You know, always expecting Hector to play to the limits like that. That's the type of player he is. And a nice dive. Really nice move.
That's a dead Drake.
At this point, they need to start getting some value out of their mid laner. The only way they turn this game around is on the Wind Ranger. Next ulti has to be big.
Do you see King Jungles go for the bushwhack on top?
Clifford?
All right, they did Clifford with that tree acorn.
I have not really seen Hoodwinks cliff people before like that, but that's a move, yeah.
There's a charge on Robo-Z down here. Just have to be a little careful. He's already just like zips away. They go for the dust. He is dusted, so they've got the vision.
Yeah. And you know, always playing on all lanes here, basically Heroic with their Lifestealer being unable to be contested top. They can just keep that lane solid, and then Spirit Breaker able to be everywhere. Yeah, great thing going for them.
I mean, Radiance is completed over on Hector. Like, if you look at the net worth difference, and look at this, Hector just walks right up to Troll, no fear. The rest of the team have a couple of those supports nearby, but they just kind of give him a little smack on the butt and say, get out of here, because they can't do much damage.
Oh no, not again.
Oh geez,
Hoodwink gets caught stepping on a trap, and the TA has that blink now, so easily able to punish here as well. All the cores on the side of Heroic just having a great old time. And even the supports, I mean, Witch Doctor is closing in to that Brewmaster net worth right now. It's just 900 behind.
A lot of pings going on, chasing after this Ogre.
I like this build too coming out. The mech plus Pavis from Schofield. This is like a super tanky physical build, which is good against this team.
I mean, the name of the game is just try not to get in within like melee range so you don't get hit. Although, does have to be careful. Sprite's not going to be able to save him, so they do take down Schofield. Llama backing off. Long range impetus. Split will come out. And it looks like Enchantress probably going to be left
fight. No
for
life
dead.
stealer.
They are trying here, as there goes King Jungles. And Llama is going to be able to just charge away. Even going to go and just hit a couple creeps on his way out.
It is hard to overstate how important that fight was. Look at the amount of gold they got for killing 2 supports. Individually, they got 950 gold for the Witch Doctor, and they got 800 gold for killing the Enchantress there. Absolutely absurd amount of gold.
That's, I mean, very much needed. The Llama sticking around a little bit too long, too. Ends up dying and giving the Brewmaster a good chunk of change as well. He's got his Radiance online now.
Yeah, Brewmaster making stuff happen across the map here, being the active player. And that fight shows that you still can't really underestimate your opponent too much. If you don't have lifesteal anywhere near, you know, diving into all 5 there of Fantasy can be risky. And this is what they need to do. I think they need to start 5-manning a lot on Fantasy.
Well, they definitely can't keep getting picked off one by one, that's for sure.
Good wink.
Double
ignore
damage
what you
TA.
say. And yeah. Top lane, they're looking for wind as well. Gonna get pushed towards her enemies.
Chasing after OBZ, drop the Gleipnir. Doesn't matter though, they'll just slowly claw her down.
Yeah, the Gleipnir not gonna save you from that gank. Really nice move by KJ.
No basher on him, so this Ogre's going to be able to escape easily, but it's not looking now good for Drake. He doesn't have split available, and he's just going to get clipped down yet again.
So much value from this one DD rune. TA getting involved in multiple fights, and yeah, again, the lifesteal starting to activate now is really painful because he has that big farm advantage. He has been free farming a lot, even has the Manta style coming out already. 19 minutes, Manta plus Radiance. He is looking absurdly hard to deal with now. And they're going for an Insta-Tormentor steal.
No reason not to, because it's not like they can really challenge this at this point.
Yeah,
No
Ogre was there, but he walks away. He has a learning curve, but he understood. At this point, I'm not going to go into that.
Now we've got the Spoink Shard for the Enchantress. Even more damage going to be pumped out of this heroic team.
Yeah, super nice for juking some of the stuff as well.
Oh, somebody's TPing in. Look at this. They see him immediately, and they're going to try to give him a little bit of space, but all right, there it is. There's that troll LT. But again, Hector just jumps inside Schofield, hitches a little bit of a ride, plus that extra little bit of that Radiance damage. And they'll try to put out as much damage as possible, but they won't be able to quite find it as they'll chase down. They've already taken out the Brewmaster. They'll go for this Ogre. They're charging after RoboZ. Able to bounce off a little bit. Looks like the troll's gonna survive over here in the corner, but not so lucky for that Hoodwink.
Yeah, he gets away just barely on the troll, but that was a risky TP. I guess he was betting that there's no vision on the high ground, but there is a cliff ward in your triangle there, so they saw him and they reacted very well. You know, immediately maledicting him, bringing him super low, and the fight was easy from there. I like the infested Radiance into the Witch Doctor with Voodoo Restoration.
Disgusting.
Just a casual 120 damage per second if you're near him. And also making him way tankier.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the maths on that, but yeah, you know, and that's kind of what they did with this build on Schofield, is they're just putting tons of, you know, armor on top of him, making him tanky so he can just stand in the middle of the fights. Very akin to we're missing offlane builds where we like kind of like a Doom in a sense almost. True,
yeah. We're missing one layer though to this puzzle here, Moxie. We need the Pudge as well, exactly, to eat the Witch Doctor as well afterwards.
It's like a turducken of Dota death.
Yeah. I wonder if they fixed the bug by now, the Pugna bug with the Pudge. Did you have a chance to see it? Apparently, Pugna can cast spells inside of Pudge currently. Everything except for his ulti, which, you know.
God, can you imagine if you could cast your ulti too?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty gross that you can just decrepify whenever as well. Oh, let's kill Pudge, guys. Oh, never mind. Free Ghost Scepter from the little tourist. I feel like...
I think I would rage if I saw that in, like, my pubs.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a allowed to fly in the tournament, though, of course. No bugs to that extent are really
It's a
allowed.
longer feature, though, you know?
Exactly, that's always the debate, right? But there was that moment where, was it Shadow Demon getting level 3 ulti if he did something? Or I can't remember what it was. The SD bug that got punished for being used in a tournament recently. So I feel like they're pretty clear. They don't want stuff like that. Troll not gonna get away here.
No, he is not. In comes Schofield, in comes Analog, in comes the whole team. They're more than happy to take the troll off the map.
They're kind of just going through the motions at this point. I feel like Fantasy, they understand how far behind they are. They lost all 3 lanes, and after that, Dota is a very hard game to play. You basically, if you win 2 lanes, you're pretty happy in the pro scene. If you win all 3 lanes, I mean, it just becomes too simple, especially with gankers like this. Look at Wind Ranger. Oh, nice Gleipnir, though.
Look at this tanky
There's a random troll.
It's just chasing after. Got the troll over by the gate. This is not looking good for RoboZ. Does have the wind run, but the follow-up from Divine Llama, you're just not getting away from these boys. No, no, no.
Yeah, there's simply no way. Meanwhile, you have Enchantress just farming over at the Ancients.
Look at Schofield just chasing Ogre.
He's like, come back here.
So here's the thing, Woggy. You're talking about, you know, how it feels like, you know, they know how far behind they are, that it's going to be really tough. But also, this is Dota. Dota's a game of throws. Sometimes you get a little too silly. Sometimes you start, you know, messing around. You're really feeling yourself. There is that little possibility that your enemies do indeed throw at some point.
I would be worried about letting your enemies have too much fun, though. Divine Llama, he must be smiling, you know.
You can't tell because it's just his forehead on the camera.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, when you Spirit Breaker just non-stop go from gank to gank, this is heaven for an SB player. But
I feel like we need to call up T-Gov and just be like, T-Gov, break this down for us. Give us, you know.
Yeah, true.
Big SB enjoyer.
He must be very happy with the Bull Rush thing. Also, one of the best innates in all of Dota, I think. Oh, they go on Lifestealer? He doesn't have an Aegis or anything.
He does not care because he's just, it jumps inside a troll. Gives him a couple scritchy scratches.
Oh my god, the speed
like,
on
look
Spirit
at this.
Breaker, he just runs out.
I don't know. I don't know how you push that. They're gonna give it their best shot though. Immediately throwing forward. Oh no, Brewmaster. He's not even gonna be. Oh, he gets the split off at the last second. So they'll be able to start pushing away. And again, Analog holding on to that Aegis. They're putting a lot of damage onto it, but doesn't seem to care. The refraction coming back up again. Couple of little acorn bounces. He's ticking low. Will eventually get taken out. There's everybody else over here at the side waiting on the high ground, making sure they can get this TA out. Brewmaster a little bit deep here, chasing after Schofield, as there is the charge over onto Troll, but not going to be able to quite finish him off. And Divine Llama running for his life. He's gonna get up into the air, and yeah, that's the follow-up here from Ector. They're chasing after everyone, but seems like they forgot about Mr. Lifestealer. As he'll collect on multiples, and 4 are dead on the side of Fantasy. This is their tower for Heroic.
That was great focus by K1 there to be patient about his ulti. He had good opportunities to use it, but he had very low mana, so he didn't use it on the TA on the before Aegis. He didn't use it on the Witch Doctor to heal him up. He waited because he knew he wants to infest Troll at a key moment, and that's what he did. He infested him when the Troll ulti was going, so he doesn't get to auto attack at all. That disarm playing a big role in securing the fight.
Can't believe that they didn't lose anybody on the side of Heroic. They're all dancing pretty low at one point, especially Schofield.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
hey, you know,
they did have that Aegis advantage. You know, Analog was soaking a lot of the focus there, and using the Aegis to come back. So it's very rough for Fantasy. I don't know who they can really focus. Probably the supports is the only target.
they smoked up. They're trying to just find some way to surprise them at all, because it's proving difficult. Schofield backing off, throws out the cast. Couple of these bounces. He's gonna end up getting stunned right back in again. Well, end up losing RoboZ. He's gonna buy back though. Realizes this is kind of the make it or break in a moment, but Drake sitting quite low. Does not have the split. The pop out from Lifestealer. Oh my god, they're fallen by the just all 5 of them dead, and the GGs get dropped.
Yeah, that was very, very dominant showing. Like we were saying before we went into this, we expect Heroic to be looking pretty strong. This was more one-sided than I expected against Fantasy, though. Fantasy you know, they didn't get core heroes, and then maybe they can show us what their ideas are in this draft. They definitely have potential. And last game, you know, it was just way too hard against that Witch Doctor, and the laning stage kind of did them in.
All right, well, let's hop into the game here.
We see both teams going out, no smoke. We have nice positioning here on the bottom jungle by Heroic. Everybody holding the high grounds, prepared for smoke rounds. You can see the smoke reveal positionings. And meanwhile, on the side of Fantasy, similarly, they're smoke revealing, but I feel like they're not setting up to really be aggressive. Do they have a smoke even to go and fight for a rune? I don't think they do.
I feel like it's common whenever we're doing South American qualifiers, you see, like, you're never sure if they're actually going to grab a smoke and go out.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like neither team is going to really go for that here. We see Spirit Breaker sending out some items to himself here, as he only bought out the Blood Grenade and some Tangles first. And they're trying for 3 runes on the side of Heroic, but not in time to take the top one.
There's our Night Rain coming into play here with that nighttime. Yeah, this poor Enchantress.
The Hunter in the night is actually doing so much work here, not skilling up the Void, just running and hitting.
Having to grab those sprites up early.
Yeah, I mean, he forced out 1 usage.
Yeah. Means it's not going to be available during laning, and that's a scary time. Venge, I feel like Venge has a surprisingly short range whenever I go and I pick her up and play her.
She does. It feels, you know, a little. It's slightly better than a Monkey King, right? It's
yeah.
She does have to get pretty close, but she has really good damage is the trade-off. So already getting 2 nice here. Good start for her.
That bottom lane did see a little bit of damage sapped off of Drake. Not too much about what you'd expect though. And
yeah, bit of damage onto the SD though as they yeet him back, but he's going to be fine, walk himself away as well.
I feel like mid lane is the lane of do-nothings. They're just going to be 2 boys, slapping each other occasionally.
Yep, just 2 really tanky heroes. I mean, there's some CSing here and there, but overall a pretty dull lane. But DK, with that Wyrm's Wrath with the Corrosive, he can actually do a bit of damage onto the Timber. It's the only thing worth noting, so he will have to skill up the reactive armor, maybe even multiple points, to not really get harassed like this. The right clicks are hurting. But yeah, definitely the side lanes are going to be where we keep our attention the most. I think this top lane has a lot of kill potential from either team, really, as it's nighttime. In the SP and Night Stalker when they have hit level 2 here.
Bottom lane. They get the kill on Doom. And again, this is such a spooky lane, because the second that you are out of position, you're gonna have this Marcy punishing you, making sure that her Razor can get close enough that he can start sapping and start using his clicks on you. And there's only so much that this Shadow Demon can do. The idea of him is great because he can be a bit more defensive, but okay, after disruption. Top lane, Enchantress, good magic missile. Keep her alive. But definitely a slugfest here, top lane.
She's gonna be fine, and she does have the heal coming in as well. But yeah, this is a brawl for every single creep wave. Bottom lane, we see KJ kind of lining up for some harass again onto the Doom, but he is full HP and pretty close to tower. Oh, SD though, not as tanky.
The sidekick, nice. Nicely done here, disrupting. A little smack here from Doom, actually doing a decent amount of damage. This is not looking,
One more?
A little scary. Can he land it? Oh, he has the Fairy Fire. And he's got 2 stick charges there.
Yeah, gonna be fine. Also gonna get the Lotus as well as he moved over there. Shadow Demon gonna go and take the Bounty Rune instead. Get something at least, but the worst end of the bargain there.
Leaves Drake alone, which I always feel is a little bit scary. Couple pings out.
Top lane, we still see them fighting here. 2 minutes until daytime comes around, so as much denies as they can get as possible here on the bench is really important to not let Night Stalker get early level 6 after that nighttime runs out.
Bottom lane, another disruption getting used. Plasma here. In jungles looking.
Oh, a jump.
Is he good? It's a little scary to go underneath that tower like that.
Yeah, difficult. Difficult to keep fighting.
Oh, look at the Enchantress top. She just keeps getting away with like almost no hit points. Salver reactive wisps are definitely putting in overtime in that lane.
He's bringing an ogre now as well. Got an ogre magi, so that armor is gonna come in handy.
Nice little frost armor. Everything to stay alive in this lane.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how tanky this Ench is gonna become later on. I mean, obviously it's just a support still, but getting those wisps when you take damage is very interesting as a passive.
Yeah, I was testing around in my own stream, actually. One of my guys mentioned, like, you get a lot of those healing amplification items and whatnot. You know, Holy Locket, get yourself, like, a mech. Forget what else, but, like, you're really, really hard to kill. Like, they can kill you, but it takes a lot of resources to do it. A little bit of a dive here in the top lane, putting pressure on Fly Llama, but Schofield's nearby.
Yeah, not letting him freely see us as well. So far, this top lane is going great for Fantasy. I mean, compared to last game, where they had a really, really rough start, this is a fantastic start for their safe lane. 28 and 10 last hits on the bench, even confidently denying range creeps under tower here against the Night Stalker. And daytime is just about to kick in 10 seconds. Boom being gone on.
Well, they find this opening. They know that he's trying to go for the D-ward. Toss back. They'll end up losing the Doom.
Ooh, that is painful time to die.
Play.
All those creeps on the tower as well is really costly for him to lose the entire creep wave.
I mean, good identification coming out from Heroic, because they saw him dewarding. They're like, all right, we can do this. We've got the damage. We've got the lockdown.
Yeah, that's really, really
Costly.
nice time.
Costly.
Well, he's back to the lane and he's gonna try to keep farming. He does have... It's interesting he has the Gluttony facet on Doom, but he doesn't have a point in the Devour yet. So, you know, doesn't get those 2 charges of Devour yet. I wonder if it would have been worth to go for one. I know Scorched Earth, usually what Doom players want. Charge towards mid.
Charge. He is in Dragonfly, which is a little spooky, but you have multiple supports here. Toss back, try to just push him down, and they will have enough damage to take down Robo Z, as they'll turn their attention to Enchantress, throwing out those chakrams. They'll finish off and get themselves an Enchantress creep on top of it.
The double chakram coming out. Good damage there. He was level 5 on Timber, so they probably felt a bit confident on Fancy diving out of tower, but nice timing on level 6 as well to get the chakram and get the extra kill. Gotta praise the supports here a bit from Heroic. That was a good move coming over there. And Razor is strong enough to stand alone bottom.
They chase Drake like past the tier 1. We'll have those Wisdom runes coming up soon. So be curious to see if they get aggressive and try to go for it. Although, tending to think not on the side of Heroic.
Yeah, it doesn't look like either team can really steal with the position they're in now. Looks like Shadow Team is gonna stack up the triangle and run over and take the Wisdom rune for himself. Nobody has really taken it on the side of Heroic though. But we might see them go for it on Night Stalker.
I feel like they're so important to get like that extra level, especially on supports.
Drake
get that little extra.
Slowly being chased down here by Static Link.
Looking for the sidekick here. Not the sidekick, but the jump forward here from Marcy. Nice, we'll be able to slow down, but in comes the choo-choo. Here comes Schofield. He's not letting them get out alive. As Hector goes and collects that kill.
That was a cross-map charge there. He's slowly coming in for that kill, and yeah, they get the double kill again, pushing on the tower again. Doom losing creeps, and now eyeing up towards mid. They're quick to just leave the Razor as well afterwards, understanding he's fine on his own, and instead they can run towards this this Dragon Knight perhaps. Runes are spawning soon.
Still don't have the level 6 on Doom either. He's been struggling in this lane. See that Wild Wing, see the Enchantress. Follow up with Analog. So those sprites are nice.
Nice
Oh, very nicely done. Chakram, no, swinging around. This doesn't look like they're going to be able to make it out now.
This is exactly what we expected when we see the draft coming out from Heroic. This is how you want to play it. Just non-stop running at heroes, and the draft from Fantasy is just a little bit too slow comparatively. Like, they're doing fine on lanes. DK is farming nicely, and Bench is getting a lot of farm, but Doom is destroyed in this game, and he needs to recover.
Rebound, the kick over onto the bench. There's not much that they can do about this when you have this many heroes running at you.
I mean, they just need to group up. They need to wake up and do something right now because Heroic are just going together all across the map, and all these ganks are completely uncontested right now.
Smoke play coming out. They know that somebody's over here, most likely Enchantress. They're doing a little bit of scouting vision. What do they do here, Waga, though? As you said, you know, they need to wake up, they need to do something, but what can they do right now?
I think they need to like double support smoke behind a core. Probably Dragon Knights, I guess, is the best one they can do. They also have Doom ulti available now. So
yeah, they use the Doom, but look at this. They've got the Marcy ultimate. They just punch him to death. They don't care.
Where are the supports? You know, and she's farming for levels in jungle. It just looks like everyone is playing their own game.
Feels like they're all playing Heroic's game, though.
Yeah, they're falling into the trap of just, you know, not really making moves because the opponents are too aggressive, but you need to at least make counter ganks.
Schofield, look at this. Venge is feeling a little spooked here. Doesn't feel like she wants to gauge on it. Incoming the Marcy. Disruption. Trying to put a couple stacks here, but still very spooky stuff. Nice swap, though, over onto King Jungles. Check out the damage again. Rebound, able to get away on the over the side here. Hector chases down Shadow Demon. Schofield now running away, but
yeah,
not too much else they could do. Robo's here. Yeah, dive onto Edge. Multiple heroes in the bottom lane. Robo Z. All right, there we go. There's a kill. Finally over to Hector. Should be able to get a kill over onto King Jungles. No, with the rebound. Yeah, last second. There it is. That final tick. Analog teleporting down to the bottom lane. Throws out Chakram. He's gonna try to hold this. Do have Divine Llama making his way as well. And they are grouping up a bit more. Divine Llama running straight into three. Uh-oh, I don't think he was expecting that. It's nighttime, my dude. You should have been able to see this. Schofield with the follow-up. He's gonna try to get Divine Llama out, but they're not able to, as Drake, taking a lot of damage, will eventually fall. But this is not looking great for Spearbreaker. It does not have the charge. Corrosive clicks over onto the side. They'll lose Schofield, but the rest of the team, they're back up now as they're coming in. Marcy ulti over onto the Enchantress, but over on the side, Analog ending up getting clicked down as Hector and King Jungles, last men standing currently right here. Can they do enough damage to take down Robo Z? King Jungles will end up dying, and this is looking like a dead Hector. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, he cannot. Just 60 hit points left on Robo Z.
What a fight for Fantasy. They turned all that around. Dude, so much of that is because Night Stalker didn't get to do anything. He ran, he didn't see the enemy because they were behind the two trees in the river there. Those two trees blocked his night vision, didn't allow him to see the Dragon Knight. He ran right into him and past him because his screen must have been somewhere else. He ran quite deep past him even. And,
maybe he was looking.
Yeah, he was looking for something else and got completely caught off there.
I feel like Bench can't do this. Like, you can't, although it cancels the charge. I thought Sko was definitely going to go for that.
I think he could have too, but a little bit worried, you know, doesn't know what's right behind there. Yeah. Right. He had some cooldown on the ulti as well, on the Spearbreaker. If he had the ulti ready there, I think he would have committed. But yeah, that's a good turnaround for Fantasy at least. And now the gold lead isn't actually that big even. It's less than 1,000 gold lead.
Very necessary fight. Of course, it did feel like Heroic had them kind of one by one trickling in.
Yeah.
Which is never, you know, necessarily the way you want to go for this. But do you have the Blink Dagger now on Robo Z, so he's going to be able to make more things happen. But not when there's three heroes showing up in your jungle, chopping down your trees. And, oh, here comes Hector. He's going to say, thank you, guys. I'll take that. And pings are coming out because they know Drake's over here as well.
Spotted by Night Stalker.
Vision, Divine here, followed up. Oh my god.
Wow, Marcy ulti as well. And he's just going to use it to farm up the enemy jungle here as well. So it was a little bit of an overkill, but, you know, make the most out of it. And meanwhile, Ensh and SD are team farming the enemy jungle here.
Oof. It's because they're scared, you know, there's strength in numbers when there's a Night Stalker on the map. Stick together in the buddy system, but maybe stick with your core. I'm
sure your cores would also like strength in numbers right now.
Yeah,
the two supports are nowhere to be found right here. At least they did go in and plant a deep ward, but I'm not even sure deep vision is what they need. They kind of need defensive vision.
King Jungle's on the hunt. They have the vision with the Spirit Breaker, and comes Analog. This Ganks trio is just everywhere all at once.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that they got their hands on the Spirit Breaker again. They're playing it obviously, you know, a bit differently here than the previous game, but showing that the hero can be strong, whether it's core or not as well.
I mean, you looked at those bans though, they were all very appropriate bans.
Yeah.
Because if you take out the Spirit Breaker, you let someone else go through, and that's spooky stuff. A little bit of a swap on the bottom lane onto Divine Llama. Got the Doom on him, so most likely should be able to chase him down. Multiple heroes on
He's
the
gonna
hunt.
live. He's gonna be fine on Nice
so?
Talker.
Oh, it's felt very close on that, but immediately now they're going to look to punish.
Diving
There's
in.
the charge forward. Schofield identifying multiple subjects here. King Jungles is going to get disrupted. Back line, though, they'll rip apart the Enchantress. And now King Jungle's punching away. A little bit of chase off to the side on the Shadow. He's going to try to go for the Lotus. Does manage to go grab it up, but not going to be enough here to keep him alive as they still have their eyes on this bench. Magic Missile getting tossed out over onto Schofield. Should be able to get that kill, but the follow-up now from Analog. Dishing out damage over onto Robo-Z, stealing a bunch of the damage as well coming out from Ektor. Needs a couple more clicks though, get Robo-Z. This is gonna be a dead bench. Tries to get that swap off, a little bit more damage here, trying to just do whatever they can.
Could kill, maybe? That was really cleanly done. They waited with killing Venge. They could have killed him quicker, but they let the Marcy create distance before they finished killing him. So Analog held his kill potential there because they knew if he kills him too early, he's gonna swap and kill the Marcy. So that was a really nice play to, you know, keep your teammate alive. Small little detail, but yeah, this fight absolutely one-sided there. A little bit late to the party on the Dragon Knights. I feel a fantasy. They're already in similar spot to the previous game where you need to 5-man. You need to have these big engagements happen where you are 5 from the start, and they just weren't.
I'd say that they're definitely banding together more than they were in the last game, but like you said, it's just a little late on a lot of it. I'll also say the Seeds of Serenity that King Jungles keeps popping down, that little extra bit of heal, making some distance, like honestly, making
Yeah.
making some good things happen. That's a dead Enchantress.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for yeah, he's in the rebound, Chase is on, they need that vision, there it is. He's gonna get clipped. Not necessarily sure they meant to do that. He was like, oh, thank God.
He's pretty happy up there.
Seeds of Serenity, like we said,
yeah,
though, buying him just a little bit more time to hop down. We'll eventually be able to get King Jungles, but end up with a tower takedown. A little bit of a swap here over on Hector.
Has the stun as well, gonna throw some damage out at least. Venge trying to fight while DK and Doom are just trying to farm up and get some item progression. We don't really have much on Doom yet, just a Veil, no Blink Dagger, no Shivas or anything like that. Dragon Knight though, working on a Yasha, he has it complete for an S and Y build.
I feel like they needed, so like they've got these two supports that eventually, you know, Ench will be able to dish out the damage. But I feel like maybe a little bit more aggressive of a support would have been good to pair with the Dragon Knight. So you could get that blink and then have like one other follow-up. I don't know. I
feel like the problem is pretty much what we were talking about earlier as well, that they just struggle a bit to deal quick damage in these fights, right? They, like you said, an aggressive support perhaps to burst someone with the DK stun. You know, we don't have that Hoodwink or Skywrath or something with a lot of DPS here. We have very slow supports. Bottom lane, A1 coming in. He's quick as well.
Don't mind me, just walking my Enchantress.
Yeah. Razor is looking like a powerhouse already. He is enormous in this game.
I feel like at this point with the draft that Fantasy has, because like you said, you know, they're lacking that bursty kind of damage for quick pickoffs. It's just it's a disengaged squad, right? You've got to save, you've got these stuns, but the stuns just never feel like they're being used in a very aggressive manner.
Yeah, I mean you have the stun from the cores, but your supports are struggling. I'm not in love with the SD Ench duo support. I feel like either of the heroes are fine. I feel like the two together don't really operate that well. I'm struggling to see what they can really provide. Whereas the side of Heroic, they can just set up ganks wherever all the time. Both Marcy and SP are just so aggressive.
They see that the jungle's open and they realize that they've got to be somewhere.
Adam and scanned out.
Oh, they go for a quick smoke, hop out, stand on the high ground, dropping a ward. They'll be able to see the Venge.
They're in.
Nice little swap over onto King Jungles, but over on the back line, the battle has begun over onto 3. As they'll start zapping away over at Robo-Z. Hector just running past everyone. That chakram just slices them like a piece of pizza. There's the follow-up over onto Drake. That silence on the back lines. They'll end up losing the Enchantress. They've already lost Drake. 3 dead, and there's still a Vengeful over here that they would love to kill, as they just leave it to Hector. They'll walk. Just slightly coming over to get themselves an illusion too, most likely. It's gonna take a little bit of doing, but just with that, they're able to walk right back into the Roche pit and finish up business.
Well, they did get out, at least with the Shadow Demon. He lives to tell the tale of the massacre that was his team falling. Really nice to have this vision advantage as well when you're playing heroes like Spearbreaker. You just pop the NS ulti, you get perfect vision in the team fight. He has flying vision over everybody, and then you can charge whoever you want. You can go on the back line or whoever you want to compromise, and the fight is very, very clean for them there. They did lose Marcy, and he bought back into the fight. He got a little bit isolated there against the Venge and the SD and couldn't really stand his ground, but ultimately very, very clean fight for them.
I feel like that was a really good call to back out of the pit, hit the smoke, and then just stand on that high ground for vision. That
Very
made such a difference because like they didn't have the vision, right? That's something I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about, like higher MMR pubs is like, you know, smoking, going over to an area at nighttime especially, and then trying to go up to a high ground is just a recipe for disaster.
Well, they read it based on the map and how it looked, right? The lanes weren't pushed enough to safely do Roche like that. Since the lanes were kind of pushed in, they felt like, okay, we gotta reset, take the high ground. They did a right move there as well, because Fancy, they could maybe have contested that one. They got in there with, you know, a nice targeted Doom. Maybe it could have worked for them. Doom, by the way, finally has his Blink Dagger now at 20 minutes. It's like one of the smallest Dooms I've ever seen, I think. Which is ironic because he has gluttony. This is not gluttony. This poor guy needs food stamps right now.
This is like perfect timing too. They take the tier 2 and then they can immediately go and take their Tormentor. That feels like just so good from an efficiency standpoint.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing in the previous game as well. They, you know, coincided their advantage into being on the Tormentor when it spawns and taking it immediately. So not giving that comeback. Schofield says hello a few times.
Classic Schofield. Everybody's dancing.
Combo the Meteor Hammer.
Yep. All right, they're having way too much fun with this game.
Don't be mad.
Don't be mad. Well, the Timbersaw gonna be very happy in this game as he already has Shiva's Blink and Meteor Hammer. Meteor Hammer on Timber, by the way, pretty similar to on Storm. It's just a really great mana regen item. Does give some push potential as well.
The aggression continues here from the side of Heroic. They've really just pinned them into such a small area. Like, the economy that's available to them on the map is just almost non-existent, it feels.
Yeah.
Just got that tiny little sliver in the top upper left.
It's very rough right now. Venge did go back for an Echo Saber, by the way. Yeah, we can see the locations they have. Not available to go out too far. Robo.
Like, look at this. They're underneath their own tower, and they're just like, we don't care about Robo-Z. We're going to just run right at him. Analog on the chase. Disruption buying a little bit more time here, but the Marcy's also here. So they'll finish off Robo-Z. They'll cut through Enchantress, no problem. Rebound over onto Zeke over the side. Then trying to run away. Losing their Doom, and now the final cherry on top of the sundae. A Venge kill, and perhaps a Venge illusion kill, too, if they get a little too cheeky. And they were getting a bit cheeky,
Marcy's
but...
one? Spear break as well.
Okay, all right. Schofield, you might have deserved that, but not quite enough to finish off the illusion.
Yeah, he lives, but he calls GG.
And they call it. They call it.
They know where them beat, and this was definitely an impressive showing here by Heroic. I mean, they took game 2 in, you know, similar fashion to game 1. Just very, very confident. The way they played was with great tempo. I think, what was it, like 10-0 or something? The early game was just completely one-sided here.
It was 8-0 at one point. I remember looking at it because we were saying like, oh, you know, it's a little bit more even. We're not seeing like, you know, kill after kill after kill. But when they decided it was killing time, it just was killing time. There was just nothing that Fantasy seemed to be able to do at that point to keep up.
It looked like one team broke laning stage. There's the 8-0, and, you know, they're definitely getting this kill as well, I remember. So 9-0, I think they hit 10-0 even. But yeah, this game, that might be the 10-0 actually. This game felt like they were just completely ahead of Fantasy in breaking the laning stage. Fantasy still tried to farm and like get their heroes to certain items and whatnot, whereas Heroic were just running across the map. And maybe you could have salvaged it with more baiting, you know, sit behind one core with both your supports in the smoke. We didn't really see that a single time, I feel. So more reactive counter gank play is probably the best thing their draft could have done. I'm still not really on board with the Eng plus SD support duo though. I feel like it's hard to execute.
Well, I feel like the edge definitely over time becomes more and more, damage dealing and whatnot. But for like the early game, it's just it feels too defensive. I would love to have seen something. I don't know. What would you have liked to see in
Oh,
here for the more aggressive? Because I feel like once the Dragon Knight picks up that Blink Dagger, right? Like you want like +1 that can do like some heavy nuking or something. Because again, it felt like the tanky boy show, well, tanky hero show, I guess, but not necessarily like the damage dealer show
I feel like
either.
more heroes
Never
to
got
punish
online.
positional play. Like Vengeful could do it with her swap a bit, right? But maybe something like a Tusk or something to prevent
Oh,
the,
Tusk,
you
yeah.
know, the dives from going completely overboard. You can maybe, Snowball save someone or Ice Shard trap someone. Obviously, Clockwork would be amazing, but he's always bad.